Well, bless the Lord, brothers and sisters. I'm so happy to be back yet again. I thank God for you and especially you for tuning in. This message, though, is for all the women out there who are serious in finding or keeping or possibly even getting married to great men of God. You've prayed and prayed, you seek the face of God, but these 10 tips will potentially help you going forward in the duration of your dating phase. Step number 1. Do not ever flirt with another man while you're in a presence of your man of God or potential husband, because they look at things like that and I'm telling you they don't like it. Number 2, if you've had great dates so far, you're filling each other out, things are going well, just offer to pay the bill. Now, I'm not saying you have to do it all the time. I'm not saying you have to even go Dutch, but at least offer. Number 3, don't be so available, okay? Just because he calls you doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be available. You do have a life, don't you? Number 4, don't be so silly. Everything is not funny, sisters. Come on. There's a time and place of being a young lady and being a little silly. And I'm telling you, if you're out on dates, men really don't respond for that just too much. Number 5, if you don't like your friends on social media and you bashing them, or if you have something negative to say about them, guys don't want to know about that. Number 6, men don't want to hear your life story on the first date. Pace yourself. Don't make a beeline to the jewelry store and saying you just, lost your way, and knowing that you're going to the jewelry store and showing him exactly what type of ring you want to get. Come on, ladies. Next up, sex. Sex should not be discussed during a few dates. It shouldn't even be initiated. It shouldn't even be talked about. Why? Because once you put sex in the midst, oh boy, you already know. Next, don't be so attentive to his sexual needs. Because I'm telling you, it just might shock you when he doesn't respond exactly the way you want him to respond. Men like conversation as well. As long as you get up in his mind and notice that he is more than a sexual object, the less you'll be frustrated with him. Don't put so many heavy demands on him. Don't tell him how many kids you want. Just pace yourself. Just because you bought a lot of bridal magazines doesn't necessarily mean that he is your potential husband. He just might be someone else's husband. Next, if you are dealing with self-esteem issues, you have a low self-esteem, you're sad all of the time, you don't like your body image, things of that nature, please deal with that before you even thinking about getting in a relationship. Because one thing about men, they don't want to be around sad Susan, especially if they're on a date. Next up, you are with a praying man of God, a man of valor, a man of principle. If you don't initially have a sound prayer life, live a holy and consecrated life, are a young lady in and of yourself, how are you going to potentially have an awesome man of God if you're not already putting God first before you meet a potential husband? Next up, if you live like a rat, if you live like a dirty pig, if you live just downgrade nasty, your house is jacked up, your sheets haven't been changed in months, please don't even think about getting into a relationship, let alone dealing with the opposite sex. I hope all of these have helped you. I hope that potentially you don't even have all these problems or things that are going on in your life. The bottom line is this: finding any old man is easy, but maintaining a great, awesome man of God, That's a challenge. You can do it if you put God first and do it the right way. May the Lord bless you. May you take this wisdom in stride and develop a thick skin. Bless the true and living God.